Welcome to another video, the same every time, IGCSE Maths, GCSE Maths, looking at those questions that apart from the numbers are the same every time. Learn how to do them, get yourself into the marks, get yourself into the grades. In these videos we're looking at the equation of a straight line, the famous equation of a straight line, y equals mx plus c. M is the gradient, c is the intercept on the y-axis, y equals mx plus c. So what have we got here? Exam question worth 4 marks. Point A has coordinates -4, 6. Point B has coordinates 8, 3. Find the gradient of the line AB. So the gradient of the line from A to B, the gradient of that straight line just there. Right, well, if you organise yourself, this is fairly straightforward. All we need to do is write down the coordinates, and it doesn't matter if I start with A or I start with B, it really doesn't make any difference. The gradient's going to come out as exactly the same. So I'm going to write my B numbers at the top there, my B coordinates, just because they have no negatives in there and it's perhaps a little bit easier to work with. Then underneath, the coordinates of A, -4, 6. And the gradient, I'm going to call it M, that's our symbol for gradient. All I have to do now, I've written my coordinates one above the other so that I don't go wrong. Changing y, divide by changing x. So this minus this. So on the top of my division, changing y, so it's going to be 3 minus 6. Divide by changing x. So divide by this minus this. So in the bottom of my fraction, I'm going to have 8 minus, be very careful, minus -4. Well, we've got a minus situation coming up here, so be a little bit careful. Practice this. Type it into your calculator. Fraction button on the top, 3 minus 6, 3 take away 6, and then 8 take away -4. Type it into your calculator. See if you get the same answer as me. Well, I've got -1/4, so that's the answer to the first part of the question there. -1/4 is the gradient of the line from A to B. Right, that's a good 2 marks. If you know your stuff, you just have to be extremely careful and maybe follow the same method I'm doing here. Put your coordinates one above the other and just be very careful again with that minus. We do get a -1/4 here, so we have a fraction which doesn't make the next part of the question easy, but it's manageable. So the next part of the question, part 2, says find the equation of the line AB. So the line that's going from A to B, we need to find the equation of that line. So the equation of the line is going to look like this, y equals mx plus c, so always the same every time, y equals mx plus c. I know the gradient is -1/4 because we just found that out, so I'm going to write that in. So -1/4 times x plus c. So I already know that, now I just need to find the value of c. Well, now all I need is any one of the coordinates, either A or B. I'm going to choose the coordinates at B because it doesn't have any negatives in there and maybe that's easier to work with. So 8, 3. So that tells me on this straight line, when x equals 8, y equals 3. So in my equation, everywhere I see an x, I'm going to put 8. Everywhere I see a y, I'm going to put 3. So -1/4 times 8 plus c. Well, okay, things are looking a little bit nicer now, actually, with this 8, because that will give me 3 equals -1/4 times 8 is actually going to be -2, so plus c. So we're back with whole numbers here, which is good news, easier to work with. And I just need to find the value of c, so my 2 can go to the other side of my equation. 3 plus 2 equals c, so that gives me my intercept c equals 5. So, finally, I'll write it just here, my final answer y equals mx plus c, so y equals the gradient, negative 1/4 times x, plus my intercept, which was 5. There we go. That's the answer to the question. Y equals negative 1/4 x plus 5. The same every time, apart from the numbers. And again, that's a 4-mark question. If you know your stuff, learn how to do it. Get yourself the 4 marks. Get yourself into the marks. Get yourself into the grades. Thank you for watching the video. If it was useful, then please press the like button. Also, please press the subscribe button because that's useful to us. I will meet you again in the next video.